Welcome to the 21st episode of the Amiga CD32 review project. The game we'll be covering in this episode is Bubba and Stix, developed and published by Core Design in 1994. According to Simon Phipps, when he was asked to design Bubba and Stix, he was given the difficult task of creating a game that was moody, dark and atmospheric, using realistic rotoscope sprites and featuring a kind of Indiana Jones style adventurer armed with a stick. Of course, Simon Phipps should be just the guy to design an Indiana Jones lookalike. After all, he is the guy behind the fantastic Amiga classic Rick Dangerous. After thinking it over for a few weeks and struggling with finding realistic but exciting things to do with a stick, Simon and Billy Ellison did some brainstorming and came up with a crazy, completely unrealistic concept that is Bubba and Stix. Luckily, Core Design ran with the idea. In Bubba and Stix, you control the eponymous Bubba, a hapless handyman returning from a hard day's work only to get kidnapped by Waldo, an intergalactic big game hunter, who apparently is one human short in his collection of exotic animals. Being a bit of a moron, Bubba pulls the first lever he comes across on the spaceship, thus opening the cargo hatch that he and a bunch of other alien lifeforms are standing on. Bubba and the others are dropped on an alien planet, and Waldo sets after them to recapture his prizes. Oh, and in the process, Bubba meets his new best friend, the sentient twig called Stix. Now Bubba and Stix set off to find their way out of this mess. Bubba and Stix is a puzzle platformer. You guide Bubba through the world trying to figure out how to progress, which usually involves using sticks in humorous ways. And there are a lot of things to do with sticks. As Simon Phipps writes on his homepage, you can use sticks as, for example, a pool cue, boomerang, stirrer, temporary platform, snorkel, wrecking bar, baseball bat, and general-purpose prodding device. This is an excellent game, a true Amiga classic, and if you ask me, it really shines on the CD32 with its animated intro and CD audio tracks. The graphical style is cartoony and extremely pretty. The whole thing just oozes charm at every step along the way, and it looks and sounds excellent. Just take a look at those sprites. Bubba has so many different moves and expressions that you never tire of looking at him. The whole stick with the stick is brilliant as well, and you'll be laughing every time you see Bubba use it in a new funny way. The puzzles in Bubba and Stix can be a little hard. Level 1 you'll breeze through, but already in the second level you'll have your work cut out for you. You've got to approach it like you'd approach an adventure game. Explore the area, find out where you can and can't go, and then start experimenting with all the switches and levers and stuff. Personally, I found the second level to be an example of brilliant game design within the puzzle platform genre. It was hard to get through, but once I got it, everything I needed to do seemed logical all the way. Only a game that dares be difficult can give you that extreme feeling of joy and cleverness when you finally beat a level. It's definitely a game that will frustrate you along the way, but stick with it, and there's a real gem of a game to be uncovered here. The reviewers back in the day all liked Bubba and Stix. Apparently it was never a big commercial success, but it was very well received by the critics. Amiga Format awarded the game an 85% score, and in an excellent review written by Steve Bradley they write, "Foliage is the foe on level 1, with the odd alien thrown in for good measure, although it's not the baddies that are difficult to dispatch. One sound swipe with your wooden pal is usually enough to deal with them. It's the puzzles, the brain teasers that cause the hold-ups. 1 minute you're bowling along like a good'un, and suddenly you come to a cliff face seemingly impossible to ascend. Next, you're trying to get across a pool of water and, well, you can't, can you?" And they continue with, "But don't let the puzzles put the fear of Bubba in you. They can be frustrating, but all you expert game players out there should be able to crack them after a while." They finish the review off with these words. "If one were generous, one could suggest that Bubba and Stix is one of the most interesting and unusual platformers to recently appear. I am, and it is. And despite the small number of levels, it looks great and plays like a dream." Amiga Power also loved Bubba and Stix and gave it an 84% score. They described the lovely touches with the graphics and animation like so. "All this bizarre twig-related activity is presented in frenetic, anarchic cartoonovision, with some of the finest goofball scenes played out time after time. Getting Bubba to leap into the water without Stix results in him splashing about in panic until Stix returns to act as a snorkel. Running Bubba into an electrical field causes a brilliant flashing skeleton to appear, and chucking Stix in produces a tiny skull with about 6 vertebrae attached. Bonuses and restart points appear as little wobbly aliens, and tiny background animations makes everything seem so alive. They're funny, brilliantly animated, and I simply can't fault the graphics at all. The One Amiga magazine awarded Bubba and Stix a whooping 92% on the CD32, and 91% on the Amiga, so the added percent must be for the animated intro and the upgraded soundtrack. They write, "Platform games need to be pretty special these days to compete with the likes of Zool, Flashback, and Super Frog." Well, Bubba and Stix is as special as a specially created specials album by Arthur and Nora Special. The combination of such cunning puzzles and inventive uses of a sidekick combines to form a truly entertaining game. Bubba and Stix is a game I'll definitely have to revisit. No, scratch that. Bubba and Stix is a game that I'll have to finish at some point. It's going to take some time, but I really want to see what the designers and developers of this game have created in the later levels. After playing it for a couple of hours, I only got to the 3rd level, so I'll have to dedicate some more time. This is not a game for everyone, mind you. You've got to be ready for some exploration and a trial and error approach, but being the lover of puzzle platformers and the adventure genre that I am, I award this game a 5 out of 5 score.